Guaranteed.
I like that.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Welcome
Yep.
to
No,
episode.
you know what? No, you're not
welcome to episode 11, because we've really done 11.
Twin Towers.
11. We
Yeah.
probably have actually. Like, we haven't released that many, but we've probably done at least 11
Yeah,
of
there's
these.
definitely been like 11.
Yeah.
It's probably like 9 of those have ended up on the chopping room floor.
Yeah. We
But
gotta put some more on Spotify.
it's for the good. Yeah, well, that's the thing is I have one in backlogged and then this one released. Yeah, just putting them all on Spotify, putting
yeah.
them full form. I've really been focusing on the clips.
Yeah, how's the TikTok going?
TikTok's slowing down,
Okay.
but it's about to speed up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're about to drop some hot clips.
I had to
after
buy a
this
new.
one.
I had to buy a new hard drive for all. We're making so much fucking comedy gold. That
How
I had
big
to
are those
buy.
clips?
It's not just for the I just have one hard drive with all my shit I've ever done on it.
Mhm.
It's like 2 terabytes, but it's like just filled with like pictures and video and stock footage. I have so much stock footage now, so it's like had to do some storage management.
How big is it?
I just bought a terabyte one. So
Is it SSD?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
dude, those things are like cheap now. It was like $70. like,
Yo,
for a terabyte.
that's
like,
crazy. I think mine was like 40. That little flash drive I got for a terabyte. But
yeah, and
it's
it's
probably
like
shit.
it's like the fastest read write speed. It's like 1,050
Yeah, mine's like,
read write or something
Shit.
megabytes a second.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's sweet. I copied a bunch of shit over before this.
It means you can run games off of it. That's like the
Well, I
problem.
need to run it as like a scratch disk so I can use it for Photoshop. I don't know if I can do that or not.
Yeah,
but like
you could.
I couldn't use my current one for whatever reason.
What did it say?
It just wouldn't even show up as an option. So yeah, but
you could
once
definitely
if
set-
I can use that other one for like Photoshop solely, then it's like nice.
We're set. We're fucking
Yeah, we're
chilling.
set, dude. I'm just gonna be all Thanksgiving break. I'll just be freaking generative AI.
Fuck yeah, bro. Chef it up.
Might just make a whole bunch of Thanksgiving themed
Yes.
podcast posts thingies.
I was trying to do that with the Thanksgiving picture, but it looked pretty haunting.
Which one was that?
That
was
one,
the
it was the one where it was
Oh,
us,
yeah, that
like,
was very
setting the
unsettling.
table. Yeah, and
didn't-
everybody else was Grant. Everybody at the table was
Yeah,
Grant.
I did not like that.
It's too much me.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I didn't like. I don't know. I had giant ears. The guy in that picture, I never realized, has these fucking Dumbo ears. And
Probably
yeah.
hear us right now.
damn, he's gonna come in here and fucking axe us. He looks like the same guy from that fucking Pitchfork picture. You know what I'm talking about?
Pitchfork. Oh yeah, yeah,
American
yeah.
Gothic?
With
That
the
guy.
farmer and his angry looking wife.
Mm-hmm. They're looking stern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something gothic.
They look very stern.
They don't look very goth at all. Truly.
No,
Why is it called that?
they need some eyeliner.
Yeah,
They need
yeah,
some,
or
like
some
spiked necklaces.
100%. That's the go-to.
A spiked necklace.
Bring those back.
Who were those for? Dogs?
Yeah, yeah. And people going to punk shows,
Yeah.
so people can't choke you out. I think that was.
I think that's the idea. It's like those benches that they put spikes on where homeless people can't sleep on.
Yep.
them.
Someone can't get you in a
Someone
headlock.
can't wrap up on you.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna start wearing it to work, just in my business attire.
You should.
Just a spike collar.
Yeah, just bumping into people.
They're like, "Whoa, dude! I didn't know Beckett was so kinky. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Holy shit!"
It's not even casual Fridays. We're rocking the spike collar.
And I act like it's not like there's nothing new. Like, what is that?
Hey,
I'm like,
guys.
what's what? What do you mean? This? Oh, this old thing?
This old worn out classic Beckett thing.
This old thing? I wear this all the time. What are you talking about? I wore this to graduation. Grab my diploma with a fucking spike collar. Damn. Everything should be spiked something. Shoes, spikes. Pants, spikes.
Spikes?
Outside of the outside
yeah,
spikes.
inside spikes suck.
Yeah, that'd be no good. That'd be no good. You can't do that.
Chafing like no one's business,
Ugh.
dude. Worse than chafing. You're just getting like impaled.
I don't come across enough spikes in my day to day.
I thought you were gonna say you don't chafe enough, and I was like, dude,
I've been
That's a
trying to
good
chafe
thing.
more.
I can't relate. Can't
I'm
relate
gonna
to
look
that.
into chafing a little more.
Would you do like kneecap spikes on the like where do they go on the jeans?
Damn. I was thinking all over. Kneecaps a good
all the way
move.
down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just coated. So then I can just swing my leg around and really fuck
Just deliver
people up.
a fatal flying knee.
Yeah. You catch someone in the neck with a roundhouse, fucking in their career. That's the plan.
Are you picturing like one of those like old bear suits they'd wear? Have you seen those?
No.
Oh, let me show you.
Wait, is it that guy with like the?
It's like head to toe in spikes.
He's like an Iron Man suit,
Yeah, yeah,
and he
yeah.
like they throw him down a hill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
He gets hit with a log.
They slam a refrigerator in him.
Yeah. They hit him with a bunch of Ewok traps. He's like, yeah.
There's that scene in Hot Rod where they like he's dressed up in like the suit.
Yes.
And he's like back into him with the car.
Yeah. I mean, they literally do that. I think they do hit him with a car at one
Yeah.
point.
They hit him with a fridge too.
It's bad. Like the hit looks rough. He gets the.
You really gotta that's modern science though.
True.
Someone's got to be out there doing that testing and whatnot.
Yeah, and the dedication to his craft.
Yeah.
You know.
Obviously.
I mean, he had some reason. I think he got like attacked by a bear or something, and he was like, never again.
He just vowed to really like make a suit.
Yeah, he was like, I felt so helpless. I have to invent something that puts us on the same playing field as the bear.
He's not trying to kill it though. He's just trying to let it maul him without feeling it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to wrestle it.
Yeah.
I think he's
He
trying
just
to.
wants
Yeah,
to wrestle.
he's trying to hit him with some Greco-Roman takedowns. I think was the plan.
I like that.
Naked style. I
Oh.
mean, he'd be naked under the suit.
That's cool too.
Hmm He made a little pocket. I heard for his dick to hang out.
A tiny pocket.
Uh-huh.
Just like one of those ones on the front of your shirt.
It's just a hole where his like junk can hang out of the suit.
It's breathable.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just covered in honey.
There's something
It's like
so
it'd be a shame
funny.
if a bear munched my dong right now.
Yeah,
I'd hate
I would
it.
hate
A
that.
giant grizzly bear just pawed at my cock.
The last thing I want.
Nobody wants that.
Dude, that is a funny prank to pull on your girl. Is to like pull your dick and balls out of your boxers like,
Mhm.
through the fly is
Kinda
hilarious.
just let
There's
'em
something
hang.
so funny about that,
Yeah.
where you can't see any of the surrounding skin, but just your entire back is just hanging out. That's hilarious.
Throw it over her shoulder real quick while she's sitting down.
Yeah, you just say, yeah. You set on her leg.
You're the old Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
rules.
She's like, babe, we're on the bus.
We're at the park right now.
Like, what are you doing?
Could you not? I go, isn't this funny?
Like, what? I can have my sack
Fucking
out in public now.
hilarious, babe.
Double standards.
What, there's rules on.
Come on, just touch it. Come on.
Honestly, if women can walk around topless in New York City, I should be able to walk around with my fucking balls out. Not dick,
No, just
because they can't have their
no.
pussies out. But yeah, balls.
Yeah. Just a little bit of cleave.
It's a little nut cleavage.
Yeah.
little nut cleave.
That would be so funny.
Couple little wiry pubes
Yes,
coming out of it.
especially if you couldn't have your dick out, but you could have your balls.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody would do that. I might.
I
Just,
would definitely do that.
yeah, just
that
to
seems like way
flex.
better. Yeah,
so funny.
Breathable.
Damn.
that is less embarrassing.
Dude, no.
We need to bring that as a trend.
I feel like you just get little fucking bug bites on your balls all day.
Damn.
Oh yeah,
Like in
Damn.
the summer, dude.
Yeah, riding a bike
Fucking fresh.
that is the worst spot
Oh.
to get bug bites.
on your balls. I got my
Mhm.
nuts bit by a dog one time.
What were your nuts doing that close to a dog?
I was waving them. I was my first day of camp. We had just gotten to camp, and they have dogs running around, and I'm wearing these like light mesh shorts. And this one starts
Uh-huh.
hopping up on me and like nipping at me, nips me right in the nuts, and
Through-
I'm like,
through your shorts.
yeah, and I like
Did you
went.
punch it? Yeah.
It was a baby. It was a little baby dog. It was like teething on my nuts, and so I like went up to the fucking counselor and like we're still moving kids in and stuff. Like there's still people were dropping trunks off and shit. And I was like, hey, like my nuts are bleeding. He was like, what? I was
You were
like,
bleeding
yeah, that's because I wouldn't have cared
What?
otherwise. But I was like, dude, I'm like my nuts are.
bad.
No, it was like a tiny little puncture.
So like a little
a
scrape.
puncture though on your
It's
balls.
still-
Yeah, but it was
fucking
itty
nuts.
bitty bitty. Like it was like
An itty bitty puncture.
it was so tiny. Yeah, and he gave me like a little Band-Aid that was like this big. It
Gave
was
you
like
a little kiss.
it was. Oh, you kiss and make it better. Yeah, he gave me like the tiniest Band-Aid I've ever seen. It was like a tiny little spot dot, and I just popped it on there. It almost looked like a tab of acid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fucking plug that hole up. We're good to go. Good to rock.
That'd be sweet if it was acid, dude. Just tripping balls.
Violently.
Tripping balls.
Probably where they got the name.
Damn. Damn, you're probably right.
Was it like? Would you bleed more from a razor? Like a razor if you nick it? You ever nick your sack?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I use a Manscaped. I would never.
Yeah.
I've never. Well, actually, now that I
Even
say
like
that.
Back in the day, dude.
And I got a
Back in
dual
the day,
blade. I
definitely-
haven't replaced the blade on there.
Definitely nicked it before.
yeah.
Are you subscribed to the Manscaped
No, what
blade
about
thing?
Bill
Neither.
Gates?
No, what?
So I got dual ass blades, and I did get nicked one time. So
Yeah.
it did bleed.
Fucking stink.
It's not fun. Not
It's
good.
Not fun.
Not good. Yeah, but I got hair growing on my dick too, which is a whole fucking thing. Like, that's a whole
That
fucking thing.
sucks.
It's not fun.
Where
Not all the
would
way
you-
up,
If
but
it's
like,
like a race, you know, it's like
Mhm.
a 100 meter dash.
Mhm.
Like how far through
I'm
that
saying-
race are you getting there? The
I'm gonna
70-meter mark.
no. I'm gonna say like 15,
Yeah, okay.
20.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but it's like it's annoying.
Sometimes it'll be like a long one that's actually rooted at the base, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
I'm like, oh no, it's just a fucking,
Dude.
Slow your roll.
just a
At
grower.
least y'all can see your fucking pubes. Mine are all blonde. I can't see shit down there. It's just hack job every time.
No, I think that's good. You don't have to cut as much. You know, you don't have to worry about it as
Yeah,
much.
but
It's
yeah,
not as
now I just got a
noticeable.
bunch of stray bros just hanging off the shaft.
you're like, dude, what are
Miss 'em.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys
Stray
doing?
bros.
Yeah, can't have that. Unkempt.
No.
You really can't,
Mm-mm.
unless you can, unless you're me, and no one can fucking see my balls anymore. So
Ever again?
I guess I can just
Forever.
Fucking, I literally, maybe I just don't want to ever have to fucking maintain
Dude.
nothing.
Bro, you should start working through the fucking comedians of NWA. Just
Yeah.
fucking, just
Oh,
work
yeah.
your way down the
All
list.
Two of those gals.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I think that's
Maybe.
Your new, that's your new
Might
move.
work.
Be the slut comedian.
I'm gonna, yeah, I will be the slut comedian.
That's your new shtick. Yeah.
How about my gaping pussy all every night?
I really.
So, yeah, so then I
that
was
would
a
make me
person-
happy. That would make me very happy if that was what ended up happening.
Just talk about your pussy. Just getting plowed.
I could easily do the same
Yeah.
9 minutes of pussy jokes for the next 3 years.
That's what you do. You know, you bang all the comedians, and then your next 4 months of material are just really intimate secrets about them that like you should not be leaking. That's the move. That's the
So and
true
so's a
move.
birthmark on their tailbone.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Embarrassing.
Yikers! You just turned into like a gossip comedian. That'd be cool,
You started shit with the bartenders or whatever.
dude. Would they let us do a live cast? During
Fuck
no one would
no.
let us do a live cast too.
Who?
Nomads.
Nomads?
Come on. What if we hit
Dude.
him with a come on?
Come on, we're
It's
getting
me.
we're pulling in viewers.
Bro, they know you.
We could probably just sign up and just knock it off stage.
Oh,
Sign
yeah.
up for like a 5-minute spot.
Yeah, we could just run the light as far as we could until they're
Yeah.
like, "You guys gotta get on." Yeah.
Be like, I'm hosting this week.
I'm hosting this
Oh,
week
we
and no one
could,
else is coming up.
Like in between?
Dude,
like
what if
calling
I-
people up?
That would be sick. We
Just
host.
everyone runs up. Just be
Yeah.
like, so the thing about fucking whales is.
Think about my
We're
pubes.
heckling them
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
their sets.
Have a
Is there a
dude
flood
bring up our
today?
table
Nice
and all our
khakis.
shit.
It just turns into Kill Tony.
Yeah.
We're just heckling everybody.
Yeah.
We could do that.
It'd be funny though to do Kill Tony, but the people that are judging you are also open micers. Like nobody has like.
There's no credentials.
Yeah, there's. Nobody knows what they're talking about.
No.
Well, dude, I've been doing this for about a year, and let me tell you, you got it all wrong. Work on your timing.
Your approach is just all over the place.
Yeah. I should know. I come here every Thursday,
Yeah. Except for the weekends I'm not feeling good. And then I sit.
Mhm.
except when I don't want to.
Except when I'm not in the mood to be joking around. I
Good
sit home
shit.
and edit my fucking fire podcast
Yeah,
and move my data around.
I mean, shuffling files around at my
Shuffling
house.
files, creating
Goddamn
space for this,
madman.
for this comedy podcast.
Bro, did you
Yeah.
get your thing set up where you can like remote into it or whatever? Because I can get that all going for you. where
I'm
you can-
never gonna get that set up, dude.
I'll do it in 2 seconds, dude.
I'm
Fucking
never
do it.
gonna get it
Dude,
to
I'll do
work.
it in 3
I can never
fucking
get it.
14 seconds. You have a Mac, right?
Yeah.
It's the easiest on the Mac. It takes
Okay.
2 seconds.
We'll fuck with it after this, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be because then you could anywhere you are, you on your phone, you fucking pop it.
I got my computer.
Immediately. I do it at work all the time.
That is sweet.
Put a bunch of viruses on their shit.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, that gets
Flood
probably
that
all up in my
fucker full.
mainframe. Like, I
Pause.
was like,
I did low key hack my girlfriend the other day. I did low key.
dude, don't fucking hack me, dude. I'll be pissed.
I won't. No, I would never. I would never. And the only reason I could get into hers was because I knew like her password and shit. Like I don't
Yeah.
know your fucking laptop password and stuff.
Good,
but
dude.
like, also you would need.
If you text me like, hey, what's your password? I just fucking tell you probably.
Yeah, like
I'd
immediately.
probably just text it to you.
Also, you would need like. I would need to edit like Wi-Fi settings, which I cannot. Like, I don't know your fucking.
I can't edit them either, so.
Well, you might. Oh, dude, if that's the case, that means you're probably using default
I'm
username
probably
password
just
on your.
default everything,
I could
dude.
probably. I could
Probably
probably.
just 000.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Because you gotta port forward. Like that's how you get in. Because you
Just
can.
call me.
You fucking port forward. Yeah, you can't like. I couldn't from a different network from my house. I couldn't connect to this. But if
Yeah.
I was here, I could.
Yeah, you need like a super long cable.
Exactly. But if you port forward, that's like telling my network like, hey, this is an open port, and then I fucking stick my port in, stick my
Nah,
shit
dude,
in your.
my port's tight.
I do. I
got a
stick my
tight-
wires in your port.
All
Yeah.
sorts
I
of
got a
pauses.
all up in your
I got a
ports.
tight closed
Good
port,
niche.
Dude, you gotta
No one's
on.
getting in my port.
Bro, there's no blockade
No
in your
freaking
port,
port
bro.
pirates, dude.
Your
Port
port's wide
pirates.
open. Your port's gaping, bro.
No, it's not.
Luke.
Dude, zero naval security.
Tight port.
I'm about to dock. Yo, my cable's about to dock, bro. Look out.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. I was talking to one of the dudes at my. I probably shouldn't reveal this either. I was
Yeah,
talking
go
to one of
ahead.
the dudes at my job, and he was like, "Yeah, our like network security policy is basically like if you can figure it out, like whatever. Like it's only illegal insofar as like you don't know how to do it." He's like, "If you can figure out how to like connect to something, it's like whatever. Like we don't give a fuck." I was like, "What? That's
Yeah,
crazy."
I guarantee that's not in like the handbook. Like,
No, for sure. Well, and I think I think they keep
is this
tabs.
like is this the crazy the war dude? Is this like the PTSD?
No,
guy?
no. That guy's
Okay.
not like IT or anything. This was the
It's
guy.
probably for the best.
No, for sure. That guy, yeah, he hasn't. I don't think he knows about like IT stuff.
I don't think
But
he knows about things.
I don't think. Well, he knows about ordnance. He knows a lot about explosives. I'll tell you that
About
much.
setting up a place for defense.
Dude, honestly, he was like giving me the rundown on like how the LMGs work and how to like saturate an area with bullets and like it's crazy. No, it's wild. He was like, he's revealed a lot of like military secret stuff that I was. It's like common or it's like you're allowed to know about it, but it isn't common knowledge. Like
Yeah.
every highway in America has an armory on like the exits or something like that. It's something where
An
like
armory.
Yeah, you were saying like those random towns that you drive through, like on the highway. All of those towns have a National Guard armory in them. There's a building somewhere in those towns that's just like a literal armory.
Just in case when people came down in parachutes, there was just
Mhm.
always a stock.
Exactly. And I
thing.
was like, that's crazy. But I like knowing that like we have some shit in case.
Yeah, it makes
like,
me want to go like find him like geocaching or whatever.
yeah.
Like found the stockpile.
Dude, how sick is geocaching?
It's cooler in theory, I think. I haven't done it in a long time.
Really?
No, I feel like it's like just looking in the woods for a thing that doesn't exist.
It just makes it makes hiking like fun. Or it gives you an objective besides just like let's go walk. You know, it's like, ooh, it's a scavenger hunt. Like, let's
Ooh, we find a little
Ooh,
fucking box
ooh,
of bullshit.
Oh, a McDonald's toy. Oh, Ice Age the Meltdown
Oh,
toy.
a used condom.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm gonna write my name on this little
Sick.
shitty notebook.
Dude, I am gonna start nutting in geocaches.
You should.
That's insane. I'm gonna put a vial in there and it says my sample.
Like
and
you
it's
just geocaught a disease. That's what you should say. Geocache this nut.
That's insane. That's crazy. It's like what is it called when you have? It's like surrogate mother geocaching. Like you
Oh
can
my-
find my nut. Like,
Uh-huh. I've placed my
Find my
nut
nut.
all over NWAC or NWA.
if you would like to hunt it down, dude. Speaking of NWA,
Yeah.
so you know that guy Boogie to whatever the fuck. He's one of those. He's one of like the first YouTubers. If you ever see like a compilation of like, it's like
Sure.
Chocolate Rain. This
Uh-huh.
dude.
Yeah.
You can look up a picture of him. You recognize him.
Tobuscus.
Honestly, I don't see him a lot, but he should be. I
You-
love.
You remember him?
Dude, I was big into Tobuscus. Boogie 2988 or something. He's just a big fat guy who's like famous.
What'd he do? What's up with him? How's he doing?
Not well.
Oh no.
Not great.
Did he do some shit?
He used to be. His big thing before was like he's just like the ultimate wholesome guy on the internet. Like he just always has the
Always
nicest
a lie.
takes. Like he's just a nice guy, and like he kind of was. But then like he hit it big on Bitcoin. He made like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then lost it all. And now he's like about to get foreclosed on. He lives in Fayetteville, and they made this documentary about him recently. It's like an hour long, maybe 2 hours, and he gave this dude like unfettered access to his like financial statements and like
Jeez.
all this shit about his life.
For the
And
documentary
Mhm.
or for okay.
yeah, for the documentary. And like at the beginning, they like go through his bank account and they're like, he's like, yeah, so I have this payment, I got this payment. He's like, and that comes to about I got about $2,700 in my account. He's got to pay like $50K in mortgage or something by the end of the month.
He just didn't manage anything or like
No,
he
he was like, yeah, my ex-wife used to do all that, and we divorced now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. And like he lost all his.
what about
fucking
his like what about his his subs or whatever does he
Well,
have?
so they've just been steadily going down. He's not as big as he used to be, and he's
Damn.
also like much more of like a dickhead now, and so nobody really gives a fuck. And it's just about how he's like basically like a negative narcissist. Or they used what do they call it? Like a reverse narcissist or a I don't remember. It's basically where instead of being like, look how great I am, like look how kick-ass I am, it's like look how pitiful and weak I am. Like
Oh,
you get
wow,
attention
yeah.
that way by being like, look how depressing and
yeah,
sad I
just
am.
a little frail bitch.
Yes, exactly. Which is like 100% another thing that people do. But so at one point they're like, Boogie, you got to get a job. Like you're not gonna be able to pay. You can't pay your own rent and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool, I'll do that. So he goes to First Employment, and this lady interviews him, and it's the fucking lady that got me my current job at
Oh,
Wachter.
really?
He went to that First Employment.
Wow, dude.
And they were like, this is Don Mounts. And I was like, oh, shit, fucking Don is on this. And they do an interview, and he's like, yeah, so you might hear some rumors on the internet if you Google my name that I might have hit my ex-wife, and I was involved in the porn industry for a few years, and I used to like he just lists all this crazy shit, and she goes, all right, so do you think in an actual job interview it would be a good idea to bring up porn? And he goes, it would depend on the job. She's like, I don't think we're gonna be able to work
That's
together.
true though.
Which, like,
He's
yeah.
really playing like 5D chess.
For
He's
real.
like, yes.
But it's like, okay, but you're not interviewing at Playboy. You know, these are like McDonald's jobs. Like
Yeah.
you're not going there. And
So,
but yeah.
so they were like, you're jobless. They're like, we can't help you.
Yeah, he's like fucked. And so he goes to Arcadia at one point, the fucking
Yeah.
arcade over and whatever. And like that was crazy. And then he's going through like his expenses for the month. And he's like, yeah, so I spent this much on like insurance and this much on mortgage. He goes, and then I spent $70 on Diablo 3 because I had to get it. Then I spent $70 on Final Fantasy 16 because I had to get it. And it's like, dude, you're spending like almost $200 on fucking video games, and you can't even pay your mortgage. Like, what? Also, at the very beginning, when he's talking about how in debt he is, he's like, "Yeah, I was watching my TV, and like something happened with the audio, and the S's it would like crack. So I ordered this $100 soundbar
I
on
bought a
Amazon." He goes, and then the audio started working again. So now I just have this $100 soundbar that I can't, that I'm not
Yeah.
gonna use. It's fucking
That's
crazy.
tough, dude.
And in the middle of the documentary, the guy he like starts, the guy who's making it, he starts talking to the camera, and he's like, "So I started reviewing some of the footage, and it's coming to my attention that this is the most depressing documentary I've ever made." He's like, I can't make this. Like, I can't just have this whole thing just be like the saddest thing you've ever seen."
Yeah, if there's no like up in the
Right,
story arc,
right.
it's like
yeah, so
fuck.
that's when he starts trying to get him to get a job and stuff. And that all goes to shit. And then, like, at the end, he ends up dating this, like, 20-year-old, and he's, like, 47 or something. It's like, dude. He goes to a stand-up thing, like an open mic. And I was hoping, like, it was people I recognized, but
That'd be sweet.
I didn't recognize
Just
any of them.
fucking
You
kinda
might
rad.
actually.
An open mic in Fayetteville? Or?
You might recognize him. I didn't
Damn,
know
I
who
wonder
it
where it
was.
was.
I'll show you after the thing, but he like singles them out because they're in the front, and they're like, "Dude, how old is she?" And he's like, "She's an adult." He goes, "You probably shouldn't have to justify it." He's like, "That's not a good look that you have to
Damn,
have an
dude.
excuse."
Dude, apparently he spent like $200,000 on fucking prostitutes, sex workers.
Yes, he spent $200,000 on sex workers, and they interview one of the ladies, and she goes, "I'm now married and have a family. Having sex with Boogie is one of the reasons I quit sex work." And like that would fucking end
Oh
me.
my god.
That sentence that you caused a prostitute to quit being a prostitute,
It's brutal.
insane. Like, how do you recover from that?
That's the ultimate burn.
It is.
She goes,
Somebody who has sex with gross people for a living is
Yeah.
like,
For money.
I
Like,
can't do this.
this person paid me to have sex with them. It was so bad that the money was not worth it.
Not
Like,
only that, it wasn't like he was just streetwalkers and shit. He was like taking these people to dinner and like flying them to Paris and shit.
buying them $70 video games. He was like,
Yeah, he was buying them Diablo 3.
I had to buy
bro.
them just because she needed it.
And I had to get it. That's what he kept saying. It's like, dude, no, you didn't.
She had to play.
the quote goes, "I do regret this day that I slept with Boogie. There was rolls upon rolls.
I couldn't find his
Sleeping with Boogie was one of the reasons I quit sex work."
She goes, "I'm not trying to fat shame, but I couldn't find his penis." I
Oh,
mean, it's so rough.
that's brutal.
He gets blasted.
It's her trying to be considerate and then saying like the meanest fucking thing possible.
Because it's like, look, like, I'm not trying. Like, this isn't a joke. I literally couldn't find it. Like, that is what happened.
Dude,
It's crazy.
that's so
He's
bad.
like, "I would like to fuck beautiful women. Is that okay?" I don't think that's wrong. It's like it is when you're spending $200,000 on it. Like, doing
Oh
that
my
once,
God.
whatever. You know, you hit a bunch of money.
It wasn't
You're a
one
big
time,
fat guy.
right?
Huh?
He wasn't like a one. He didn't pay one woman one time.
No, it was
200 grand.
multiple.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and the other
Because that would have
thing-
been if he paid
no,
200
he didn't drop
grand to one
200
lady.
fucking
Bro,
bands.
the other thing is there's a scene where he's scrolling through the website where you like find the prostitute. It's like seeking.com or something. And I was watching it with Lindy, and she was like, "Wait, hold on, pause it. I think I recognize somebody in that." And we paused it, and we scrolled back, and it's somebody that works at Fossil Cove that she like sees all the time.
What?
Wait.
It was like her name was like NWA Baby or something like that. Because it's not all sex work. It's like it's also like baby daddy stuff.
Yeah.
So
People doing whatever.
right, it could be like, "I'll go to dinner with you if you pay me money, but I'm not fucking you," kind of thing. Which like a lot of guys will just do that. So
Yeah.
if I was a girl, I'd be doing that shit for sure.
Yeah.
But it was just so crazy how many like little things like that. You're
That's
like,
crazy.
oh, fuck.
Y'all found a person here.
Insane. Yeah, and Dawn was in it. Like just random shit. Like it was crazy. And yeah, just random landmarks. I'm like, I fucking know that. Oh yeah, he goes to that Gear Gaming place. He tries to sell a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards there, and they're like, "This isn't worth fucking anything."
Like, these are crap.
Dog shit.
Yeah, he sits down and he's like, "How much you give me for this?" And he's like,
Nothing.
200. He goes, 200? He goes, "I was thinking like 4. And they like look it up on like the website, and he's like,
Yeah.
"It's going for like 189. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm giving you more than you would normally get." He's like, "Those did not do well." He's like, "These are like this pack. They're only gonna go up." And he goes, "Yeah, but that's what you said about those ones you were just trying to sell me, and they did not."
They've never gone up.
Yeah. Dude, then he has these Magic the Gathering nights with all his friends, which are like look exactly the way you think they would.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, so guys, like I know every time you come, like I order a bunch of pizza and food and stuff, but like, and they do the expenses on that. It's like $150 that he's spending every week.
Just
on his
having
friends.
extravagant.
Yeah. And they were like,
parties.
yeah, his friends were like, we've told you multiple times, like, we don't care about the
It's like
food.
you eat the entire pizza.
yeah, like, we don't
Like,
give
every
a fuck.
time you order 2 pizzas,
Like-
eat 2 of them and drink a
Yeah.
2-liter by yourself.
It's like, yeah, buying a bunch of expensive shit that's for other people and then complaining that it's for them. And they're like, yeah, we don't want any of that. That's
Yeah.
all for you. And, yeah, it's just fucking insane. And they're like, yeah, he's a cool guy. Maybe if he stopped saying the N-word so much, he'd probably...
Is he a white guy?
Yes.
Oh, what?
And, yeah, he said some pretty heinous shit.
Well, he's definitely, he's definitely not all there if he's fucking...
He's very...
Is he all there?
He's very competent. He does not seem like...
He doesn't seem super
disabled.
competent. He doesn't seem
No,
super
he's
competent, dude.
He's just an idiot. I don't think
Really?
it's like he's mentally, like...
I think the fame went to his head.
disabled. I just think he's a fucking moron. I don't think he, like... And he grew up in, like... It wasn't even... I don't think he grew up in Fayetteville. I think he grew up in some shit town or something, and, like, he just had no... I don't know. He's not, like... He might have autism, but he's not, like... He's no Down
We all have
syndrome.
autism.
Yeah, exactly.
He
That's
might
what
just
I'm
be
saying.
riddled with Asperger's. What
Yeah,
from
dude,
what
he
I'm
might-
what I'm
True,
looking
he might have
at.
Asperger's. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, then I saw someone else talk about. I didn't realize this was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That he would just go on like Twitter and just like be way too honest. Just
About what?
like just like bullshit opinions about like just stuff happening, like
That's him
controversial
right there?
topics. Yeah.
Yes, he always takes a
Oh,
crazy
wow.
take.
Yeah, he'll just do like some fucking just like some crazy dad shit. They're like, you're just like, dude, what are you talking about?
Mhm. He's also a felon in the state of Arkansas.
Really?
Because this one dude really started fucking with him. And
Yeah.
somebody on Reddit made this like 6-page thread about all the lies and shit that he'd said and like all like with links to like proof and stuff. And
Wow.
then anytime somebody would bring up his name, they would link them to that thread. And they sent that thread to like all of his sponsors and shit. He lost all of his sponsors because
That's
of it.
fucked.
And then this one dude ended up coming to his house to like fuck with him. And he came out with like a gun. Boogie did, and like shot it in the air, shot it next to him or something. And he ended up getting a felony for that, for like aggravated assault.
You can't
or
shoot a
something.
gun off in the air anymore?
Not in a residential neighborhood. You can't.
You can't
just
point it at
can't.
someone and shoot a gun anymore?
Especially because it wasn't like in the air. It was.
It was
like,
a
off
90
to
degree,
the side.
yeah.
It was like that could have gone in like a window or something. But
Yeah, it's probably for the best that that dude doesn't have a gun.
But they don't even blur the street names and shit. Like we could find his house. Like in the documentary,
We could
there's
just
a
go-
scene.
Dude, do you think he'd be a good guest for the pod?
I was
Oh,
thinking about that.
fuck.
He would absolutely, I think, come on.
Well, we can't do it. We can't show him where we live.
No, we would have to
We have
meet
to do it like a McDonald's
or the
or something.
library. We could do the library.
Yeah, dude.
Or we could probably meet us at McDonald's.
Damn,
for
we
sure.
could. Yeah, McDonald's. He'd probably be like, "I'll be there.
I'm
I'm
already
there.
there.
I'm there
I'm
right
there
now."
Fucking right here. Dude, pull up. I'm on MLK.
I never left.
Yeah, dude, I'm living here these days.
Yeah, he'd be pulling up to like a McDonald's in the thing, and he'd be like, 3 chicken burritos and like this thing, and then the guy filming is like, "How are you gonna pay for this?" He goes, "Oh, I thought you were getting this."
Dude.
Really?
Yes,
Fuck.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
This guy seems
that's sad,
nuts.
dude.
I don't feel that bad for him. He's fucking
No.
everything he did was his own fault.
We could get him on the pod for sure. Then we need some high class guests on here.
Dude, we should get him on the pod and
Should I
like
DM
just
him on
roast
Twitter
him.
right now?
Yeah, DM on Twitter and ask if he'd be down to do a Fayetteville podcast.
We're a local NWA podcast.
Hey, man.
Tell him we'll do him a favor and he can come on the pod.
Fucking,
Ask
we cannot
like,
give him that. Just that power.
Tell him we'll give him $50
Let's figure out how to
to a food establishment of his choice.
I'll buy him Starfield because he has to.
'Cause he has to have it, yeah.
fucking
Dude, I was looking. Yeah, definitely invite him on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dude. That'd be sick. That'd be a great pod.
It's probably a 30-minute drive for him.
Yeah,
Come down here. Come say hi.
come on over.
I can't send him messages on fucking Twitter.
Yeah, he probably gets a lot of harassment.
Yeah, he's probably getting reamed right now.
People
dude.
come at him hard.
Oh, nice.
Honestly, a lot of his comments are at this point are just people being like, "Hey, Boogie, like, hang in there. Like, we're with you." Like at this point, everyone who's left is like actually is like.
Here, I'm gonna go to his website. Figure some
What's
shit
his
out.
website looking like?
It's fucking nuts.
Does he have the what is
Yeah,
that?
dude, he's
He has
got-
he has, like the Pornhub logo.
Yeah,
or
he's got like
something?
T-shirt designs or some shit. He's
Bro,
got,
We gotta connect with him.
Did I tell you guys about Fish Tank?
No, is this
No.
what is this? Some weird thing?
It's a weird thing.
Don't. I don't want to hear about it. What is it? You brought something up weird a couple weeks ago.
Like what?
I don't remember, but
Oh,
if
the
it's-
goon community?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about gooning.
Gooning?
I don't want to hear about that fucking bullshit.
Dude, I didn't want to hear about it. I was like watching the video and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
started
bringing
getting
it up.
sick. Yeah. I was like, this blows.
That shit was fucking foul.
Dude, because it just, he
That's
did it
that's a cutting room floor episode or
for
a
sure.
bit. I don't know.
No,
where
we
that
can
bit
find
went,
that.
but
We'll find
yeah,
that. We can cut it out.
it's
but-
somewhere.
Dude, yeah, it was insane. He he had a disclaimer at the beginning where he's like, just so you guys know, this is an extra spicy
You may as well
one.
just cut it off.
Yeah, this one is fucking insane.
What is fish tanking?
It's this show. You know Sam Hyde?
Yeah.
So he has this show.
Friend of the show.
Uh-huh.
Friend
Oh,
of the
great
show,
friend of the
Sam
show.
Hyde.
Close friend of the show. He they like rent a house basically, and they had a bunch of people in their audience audition to be in it, and I think like I don't know if they told them that they need to have autism, but everybody who's on the show has autism,
Yeah.
which I think is why it's called Fish Tank.
Yeah.
And they put I think it's like 10 of them in this one house that they have to like stay in. And then the whole thing was live streamed whenever it was happening, where you could go to this website and you could switch to the cameras, like all the different cameras in the house.
Oh, yeah, I think you did. You
Yeah,
were
and there was
talking
stuff
about
you
this
could pay to do. You could like raise the temperature in the house,
once.
or
Yeah.
like
make a bunch of alarms go off.
yeah,
or
or turn
something.
off the fridge,
Oh
or
my
like
God.
you could send this one girl like a bunch of plushies or something. That was one of them, and so like eventually she's like covered in fucking plushies from people sending them. But it just became like insane. One of the dudes on it ended up being a fucking pedophile, and they had to throw him off the show.
Jeez.
Like somebody in the audience found his book that he wrote. He wrote some book, and there's all these parts in it about like this is how you like because he was a camp counselor, and he's like this is how you like apply like you give them alcohol, and like it was all these like steps on like how to build their
Jeez, dude.
trust and shit. And then people were like writing in. Because you can do text to speech where you can write stuff in and then it'll broadcast it into the house with like an AI text to speech thing where they
Wow.
hear it. And some of the shit they would write was so mean to like certain people in the house. But they started sending passages from the book in the thing while the guy was there, and they were all like,
They were quoting him.
yeah, and everybody there was like, what the fuck are they talking about? And he's like, I don't even know what that is. And they were like, that's insane. People started mailing them copies of the book, I think.
Oh.
And then
wow.
eventually Sam Hyde shows up, and they just like throw him out. I think at one point in his like profile, he wrote how he had this like really like traumatic experience where he did karaoke in front of his family and they all like laughed at him or something. And so he has them all do karaoke, and then when it gets to him, he just starts like dying laughing. And then after he like tells him he's like getting off the show, he's like, you're getting thrown out. And yeah, they just fucking grab his shit and like throw it.
It's Sam Hyde's show. Like he made it, or it's
Yeah, so he on the show he's the host of the show named Jason Goldstriker. And he has this insane suit and his hair's always slicked back. And they don't even know that he's Sam Hyde. They think his name is Jason. Like they keep calling him Jason and stuff in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he'll just come in periodically and just like smash a bunch of cabinets or like just cause chaos and shit.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good. It's very riveting TV.
Sounds good, dude.
It is primetime TV.
It's on YouTube. Where's it
Mhm.
at?
Yeah, they're releasing. You could watch it when it was being live streamed, and then now they're like releasing episodes of it like cut up and stuff,
Nice.
which is cool.
Probably a little bit easier to watch when it's not just a fucking live stream.
Yes, it is. I heard they're cutting shit out though. That was like really cool because it's just you can't put everything in.
Yeah.
But whatever. I think we're getting the season pass for next season.
Found his personal Facebook.
Who's?
Fucking Boogie.
What's he doing?
Message him.
Weird shit.
Dude, dox him.
No. Yeah, should I just message him and be like, what should I say? It's called
Just say, hey, we're doing a Fayetteville. We have a big podcast, a local Fayetteville, really big, successful podcast.
Mhm.
Any interest in being a guest? We'd love to hear your point of view, or your story, or something.
Mhm. Well, yeah, like
We will pay you to
right,
be
but
on it.
yeah, and like appeal to his ego. Like say like.
You are the greatest YouTuber.
Or be like, we want to like, we think what they're doing to you is so terrible. Like everyone needs to like leave you alone. Like,
hey Steven, should I lead with the podcast or be like compliment him?
yeah, or yeah, I would just say like we're fans of yours and we think what's been happening to you is like fucked up or whatever.
Would you want to talk about it on a podcast?
Mm-hmm. Would you like to tell your side of the story to our massive audience?
Because this is like journalism. We're basically like the news.
No, we're pretty much journalists. We're pretty much equivalent to anyone with a journalist degree.
Yeah,
You know,
we're better, honestly.
I couldn't think of a difference if you asked me.
Except we're not lying.
Yeah, we're not pieces of shit.
Except we don't just fucking fabricate nonsense.
Yeah, we're not instruments of the government.
No. Definitely not. This is definitely not state funded
That
propaganda.
being said, I would be open to a government contract if you wanted us to spread some propaganda.
Yeah.
I would be totally okay with that.
I'm going, hey Steven, me and my friends have been fans for your content for a while now, and we don't like how this documentary.
we don't like it at all.
Yeah, we don't like the light. We don't like the light that it painted you in, or like we don't like the way you were portrayed.
We think you're real as hell.
Yeah, we basically think you're the realest one in the game.
And we feel like the recent
he also like got put in a fight, like one of those YouTube boxing fight things where he had to fight.
He got
this-
put in one.
well, I think he like
He signed up.
yeah, and they were giving him a bunch of money, and then I think at the end he lost. He didn't get one punch out. The guy just
Oh my
blasted
God.
him, and then all that money that he got from it, he like wasted already on like training and flights and hotels and stuff for the event. So like he really didn't even make any money off of it. He's got his ass
Just
kicked.
got his ass kicked on live TV or whatever.
Yeah, for no money. Boogie, get it together. I
Seems
would
like
feel
he's
bad
been
if
taking a lot of L's.
yeah, no, pretty much.
I feel
And
bad for the dude. I mean, I also don't know any of the stuff about
See-
him, so maybe I wouldn't if I knew him.
you start out feeling bad for him, and then the more you learn, you're like, you kind of did this to yourself. Like I
Mm.
don't feel bad for you. You made all the money in the world on Bitcoin, and you fucking lost it. Like I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like he didn't sell in time. It was like he just spent it on something.
That is a weird
stupid.
thing. I saw a video on somewhere of like a dude crying in the shower 'cause like he got like a lady pregnant that wasn't his wife or his like fiance or whatever,
Yikes.
and his fiance's like, "What are you doing? Like, get out! Like, why?" And he's just like bawling in the shower, like just I think just trying to do like a pity card or something.
For sure.
But it's like all like I was like, 'cause initially I'm like, yeah, damn, that does suck, and then like I look at the comments and every single one's like,
Fuck that.
LOL. It's like he didn't totally do this to himself. Like,
yeah. Oh no, it's the consequences of my actions.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
like it. Yeah. Fuck
there's
that.
a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. I don't really
goes
yeah.
around. I feel bad for like shit sucks, but it's also like if you straight up do something like you are responsible for your shit.
Yeah, it's not like I feel much worse for somebody who just gets into like some random car accident and they're paralyzed versus somebody who like made a bunch of money and lost it. Like
Well, yeah.
you know what? I'm just saying like one is your fault, one is just a random thing. That
yeah,
happened.
random occurrences are a thing.
Or
but,
like yeah, like
if
got
you
your-
like go cheat on your fiance and get some lady pregnant, it's like
I don't-
that's you, dude.
yeah, I don't have a lot of sympathy for that.
No.
Yeah, it's not like you slipped and your cock fell in. You're like I don't know what would happen.
Yeah, that would be a freak accident, a tragedy.
Mhm.
I would feel bad.
Mhm. Yeah. What's funny is if that did happen, nobody would believe you.
Yeah,
like
no.
if that actually, even if that actually did happen, you could never convince.
If you
somebody.
worked at like a butter factory or something. You
or an
worked-
ice cube factory,
Yeah.
or a banana peel
Industrial
factory.
lubricant facility.
That's funny.
You probably you feel like that probably happens at places like that.
Yeah,
All sorts of wacky stuff. A banana processing plant.
I think as a man we should be allowed to use the excuse, I was seduced. I think that should be a valid excuse.
Yeah.
Guys, listen, I got seduced. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't my fault. Like I'm just a man.
I'm just weak. Yeah.
Yeah, like they cheated by seducing me. You know what I mean? Like if
You just play the like incompetency card.
yeah, like what do you expect? Like I'm just a man.
Just a
what
man,
do you
baby.
want from me?
Baby,
Like I would have
just a
never done
man.
this if she didn't seduce me.
Yeah. So we need to lock her up.
Yeah, honestly, it's her fault. I don't think that like it does take two to tango, and I wonder if there is something to be said where like maybe somebody wouldn't have cheated on somebody if they weren't seduced. You know what I mean? Because
Probably
like
a lot of times.
it's
dude.
because I was listening to this thing about like they were like talking about cheating and like what is considered cheating and like whether or not you could like having a male friend or having like a different sex best friend, like at what point is it like weird or like
Yeah.
should you be like what the fuck's going on? And the one that I agreed with was like if they start talking shit about you to them, that's a huge red flag. Where they start being like, yeah, he doesn't treat you right.
Yeah, they
he
start
doesn't-
venting about the relation. Or are you
Well, no,
saying
the other
vice
person
versa? Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
talking shit about you
Okay,
to
yeah.
them to try to paint you in a bad light. Because that is like a clear indication of like they're
Yeah,
trying to
you're
fucking-
talking to the king or whatever.
Right.
You're trying to get the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, so that's like at that point. I don't know how this connected to what I was saying.
I don't
earlier, but
either.
just- they were just saying that like if a dude starts kind of putting the moves on her, or like if a woman starts like kind of seducing you, then like
I usually just
Yeah.
get scared. Run
Yeah,
away.
I
that's
feel
a
like
good
I feel
move.
like girl moves are just a lot more effective than guy moves. Like if a girl starts putting the moves on,
I just
they
think it
probably
takes
got like
a
a
lot.
90% kill rate.
I just
But
don't
if a
think it
guy
takes a
starts
lot.
putting the moves on, it's like the girl's like, what the fuck is
But
this idiot doing?
I think it's because like the things that girls like are a lot more esoteric and kind of nebulous, and like it's more of a concept or an idea. Where guys, the things they like are very clear, and it's like if you just like show me your titties, or, you know what I mean?
You
It's
think
not
so?
like
Yeah.
like putting the moves on a girl might be like talking about music she likes or something, but like putting the moves on a guy is kind of just like putting your hand on their leg or something. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
lot more mechanical. It's less like
You don't go play Rumpelstiltskin out in the bar.
I might.
That's probably my go-to move, I think.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's that's your opener.
Yeah. Want to see my coin purse or whatever?
Showing sack.
Yeah.
That's hilarious to like trade nudes with a girl, but you just send her your sack. You like she sends you like tits and you just get balls back.
It's like, why are they blue?
Yeah, there's this American Dad scene where like the big black principal gets fired and he's
Yeah.
like walking on the street and this like lady pulls up and he's like 10 to see it, 20 to touch it. And she's like, I just wanted to buy those flowers you had. And he's like, oh, I'm not selling these. These are mine. And she was like, okay, then here's $10. And he goes, okay. And he pulls his pants down and he shows his ass. And she's like, what are you doing? He goes, you think those are dick prices? And he goes, no. It's funny. I think I'm going to get into sex work.
Fuck
Yeah.
I think I can make a killing. I think there's a lot of demand for my body type.
How would you describe your body?
Goblin.
Tolkien troll.
Hobbit.
A bridge.
No, there's not enough hair on the Tolkien trolls. Those are too smooth. I'd say like Hobbit.
Yeah.
I'd say Schmeagol.
Schmeagol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Not even Hobbit. Probably more like a Gimli, like dwarf style. Like
Mm.
yeah, probably more
Mhm.
of a more dwarf body.
Yeah.
You know, like very staunch,
Staunch. Yeah.
stout.
Stout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's big in
Rooted.
sex work right now. Stoutness.
Yeah, and being rooted.
It's like the number one
Yeah.
description on Pornhub
Yeah, the
is
biggest tag.
biggest search word stout.
Stout. Yeah. Built.
They're all looking for a stout lad.
Mhm. Low center of gravity.
So yeah, should I really send this guy a fucking
Yeah.
DM?
Yes, dude.
Well,
Why
worst
did you
case, he
type
just
a
doesn't-
book?
yeah,
What
worst
did you
Dude.
type so much?
Dude, because I want to fucking I don't know.
You're dude.
No.
That's desperate. You're not gonna put
Okay.
the moves on him like that.
All right.
Just say,
Just send her
So
your dick.
okay,
Hey,
I'm gonna
man.
do. So what I got right now is I go, hey Steven, my friends and I have been fans of your content for a while now, and we feel like the recent documentary that came out portrayed you in a false light.
Good.
yeah. Would you like to be a guest on our podcast where you could, where people could
Tell
hear
your
your,
side of the story.
yeah, where you could tell your side of the story?
Mhm. Damn, dude, if we got the scoop.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Then we could really it could really launch us into doing more of these interview type
And he's big
things.
on the algorithm right now. Like,
Really?
Yeah, like Penguin Zero just made a video, fucking Critical. Just made a whole thing about him.
Just the fact he's local, you know, you gotta
Mhm.
put on local shit.
Because that documentary, like, blew up. It's got, like, a couple million views right now. Because it's
Wow.
really high quality. The guy who made it, it's, like, really good. And so
Mhm.
I just see a lot of YouTubers talking about it. And so we got fucking Boogie in there.
Boogie, dude.
Got that in the algorithm?
You get a fourth mic going?
Ugh. Yeah, we tell him he has to bring his own mic. Yeah, if we did it at the library, I'm sure they'd have a mic.
Yeah, in green screen, that'd be good.
That'd be awesome. It'd be funny if on the green screen we just play, like, the entire documentary while he's talking. Like, as he's, like, telling his
Send it.
side behind him, it's just, like, the part where they're, like, listing all the terrible shit he did. Dude, the list is crazy. It's fucked. It's so bad. Some of the quotes are insane.
Just a really incriminating list of
Dude, he said wild shit. Stuff
resume
about,
of-
like, cutting up chicks' clits and shit. Like, super unhinged shit. Where you're like, dude,
what's he
what
saying
the?
that for?
Because he's a fucking maniac, dude. But yeah, dude.
Well, hey, we'll hear his side of the story.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure a lot of that's made up.
It's probably all fucking.
Tell him he
fake-
can say the
fake
N-word here.
news. Yeah, dude, this is a safe
No, we'll
space.
let him fucking air it out.
Say whatever,
Sure.
Boogie. In the public library, just Boogie. He's probably been in there before.
Surely.
Yeah.
Surely for something.
Free domain spaces like that. I feel like
Yeah.
dudes like him would just eat up.
I'm sure you made a video in there
Yeah.
eating a donut or something. His whole thing used to be like he had this character called Francis that was just like a retard.
Yeah.
He would just go around like hitting stuff with lightsabers. It's awesome.
It was
Oh
just-
yeah, the reason I brought up the fish tank thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember who Airsoft Fatty is?
No.
So have you seen any of those iDubbbz documentaries about like random internet people where he like
Only iDubbbz doc was the Sam Hyde one I watched,
Okay.
and that was because he got like trolled in it.
Yeah,
Like,
so the first one he did was about this kid named Airsoft Fatty
yeah.
who makes all this awesome Star Wars content in
He
his like
rocks.
backyard with his friends, where it's like all these like lore videos and stuff. Where dude,
Yeah.
it's awesome, and he has this whole documentary and like goes into his house and stuff, and it's just insane. But also the way he's built is crazy. Like his neck is like coming out of his chest. Insane. He looks like Dr. Eggman, but he he does. But the crazy thing was at the end of the last episode of Fish Tank, they're like, we got a new guest for you guys. And they open the door and fucking Airsoft Fatty walks in, like out of the light. Like the way the camera's set
great.
up, you like can't see behind him and then he just like emerges
Emerges,
from this
dude.
light. And everyone's like, oh fuck, it's Airsoft Fatty. Like the way he walks out too, it's like a whole reveal. He's got this like smug look. He's like, yeah, it's me. Like in the
He
way
seems real as hell.
dude, he's the realest one in the game, bro. He fucking rules. Dude, that's hard. That's like a SoundCloud pick. That's sick.
Well, I think he's a pretty I remember I'd follow him on YouTube, and you just smoke weed all day.
Yes,
He just
yeah.
fucking faded.
Well, there was this whole drama with him where this guy at a dispensary he used to go to, ended up becoming his manager, and
That's not usually a good
Mhm.
good deal.
no. And the guy basically took over his whole account and like he got the passwords and locked them out and was there's big conference calls of him screaming at him and he's like, I'll be there when I said I'm gonna be there.
Who's
the only
screaming?
reason you have anything. The guy, his manager guy.
Oh wow.
He's like, I fucking made you. He's like, you had nobody. And he's like, I wanted to help you, and all this crazy shit. And I think he just recently, he cut him off from all his friends, and all his content completely changed. And he
Damn,
stopped
man.
making these wholesome videos in his backyard with his homies, and it started being a lot more corporate and shit.
It's like some guys, I'm gonna do OnlyFans next week. He starts.
No,
doing,
literally, and eventually they bring back one of the fan favorite guys from before. That's so hard.
That's really badass.
I'll
That's
send
so
that to you. And throw the
Send that to me,
fucking-
yeah.
Dude,
I'll make that the cover art for this
Sick.
episode.
Dude,
Yeah,
even when I
fuck
put on
yeah.
the mask. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
No.
But
There's probably just thousands of dudes like these dudes, just internet kind of persona, like a
Mhm.
little bit mentally whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that sucks.
They call them lol cows.
Lol cows.
It's people you milk for the funniness. It's
Jeez.
it's
That's
pretty
a
fucked up.
depressing image.
Yeah, it's people like Chris Chan and people like that. There's a whole website dedicated to it called Kiwi.
Lol cows.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's awful.
a website called Kiwi Farms that I think you actually need to be on the dark web to get to it.
Yeah.
But there's just whole threads dedicated to fucking with people, and it's insane. It's pretty unhinged. It's even crazier than 4chan because it's just for this.
Just for
4chan,
fucking
it's
with those
there's
people, or
there's some boards that are for fucking around or whatever, art ones and stuff, and then this one is it's just for harassing people. It's
Wow.
crazy. No, it's some of the people deserve it. I will say, some of the people are scumbags.
yeah, when they're doxing a pedo or something, it's all right. I guess that's the internet using the shit pretty. It's pretty
Mhm.
teaming up, you know. It's it's all fucked, but
Dude,
it's
and some of those rabbit holes are these people are. It's
Are
dark,
monsters,
dude.
yeah.
Just well, and it's people. The weird part, the scary part is whenever you're watching it and you're these seem like normal people, and then the more that it unfolds, you're oh, these
the people that are doing the doxing,
No,
or
the
the
people
people that are getting
that are getting fucked
Oh, yeah,
fucked
yeah,
with.
yeah.
You
Oh,
think
yeah.
you see them, you're oh, they're just normal. This is so fucked up. And then the more you watch, because I'll
Well,
watch videos about these people and
Yeah.
about the stuff that happens to them with the trolls and stuff.
Sure.
And some of them are just this one dude and his daughter are in this streaming sphere, and there's this whole thing where he's getting a divorce from the wife, but they've orchestrated this whole story about how she was super abusive and they had to leave because of all this. And then there's you can look up compilations of the daughter coming into the room while she's streaming and hitting her in the side of the head, or just grabbing her and throwing her outside and taking over her stream and shit. And there's all these allegations with oh yeah, the dad slapped the daughter on the ass during one of the live streams at one point, after they had this big court case, and they're gloating. And dude, it's
It's a weird thing to gloat about.
winning a court case against your wife.
No, I thought you were saying he was gloating about slapping.
No. They had a court case about fuck, I don't remember what it was exactly. It was custody or it was something with the
Did
divorce.
this person get caught or get outed or get whatever, or
No, I think it's still going on.
is it a lol cow? Would you
Yeah,
call this person a lol cow?
They are definitely lol cows for sure.
Wow.
100%. But they deserve it. They're fucked. The daughter and the dad have this really weird relationship where there's just a lot of fuck.
Sounds weird.
He actively
gross.
encourages her to use sex to get
Gross.
to get people to help her career and stuff, and to flirt with people that it's crazy.
That's nasty.
Dude, it's dark, dude. Some of the stuff is there's this one guy, fuck, what's his name? Something about the andro pill. Andropilled.
I don't know what that is.
What is it? The andro black pill or something like that. Where andro is the gynocentric black pill or something like that.
What?
Yeah, so gynocentric is what people say our society is now, where everything's kind of based around the way women work and the way
Yeah.
talk therapy is very
Sure.
based around the way a lot of psychology stuff is specifically or is statistically based around women, because women mostly go to therapy, and so most of the data they have on people going to therapy is from women.
Hmm.
In the same way that a lot of car crash data is about
Drunk people.
or is done with men,
Oh yeah.
because those crash test dummies are based after a guy's weight and build. So a lot of car
Mm.
safety shit is based off of men because that's what they tested. But fuck, where was I going with that?
Gynocentric.
Oh, okay. So there's this one dude who's his whole thing is the androcentric black pill, or androgen is androcentric is guy centric or whatever.
Sure.
And so he's just this super over the top masculine guy, and they like get the wife to go on there, and like it's supposed to be like therapy, but he just yells at them and like makes them do crazy shit, like get on their knees and like call him daddy and stuff,
What?
and like on like live streams. And dude, it's fucking crazy. He made like the one daughter like lick her
Is this
panties.
big? Is it? Oh, what the fuck is this,
Dude,
dude?
it's insane, bro. It's fucking crazy. And like the only reason I knew about it is that streamer guy I watched got in like a debate with them. They were like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna do this debate," and they just seemed super unhinged. And so I was like,
Yeah.
what is the deal with this? Because they were talking about him before and they were saying all this crazy shit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, something's going on here. And I like looked up videos about him and like, dude, it's fucking dark, bro.
I'm so far removed from like the dark, like whatever, like that.
I went back in.
algorithm is.
I regret it. I regret it.
I-
Things have gotten so much darker than whenever, like the stuff we used to like go on, like the dark web iceberg shit that we used to watch is like
Sure.
nothing compared. Like the stuff now is like, dude, this is
just
fucked.
fucked up. Yeah,
Because people just have no, like people are just
people are genuinely insane now.
because they
Like,
have
we
no
got
guidance.
dark.
Like, you have no
got dark
base. Like there's
quick.
no reason. The biggest component with like addiction and like porn addiction and stuff is like having a reason not to do it. Like unless you have a reason to not masturbate all the time, you're pretty much gonna get addicted to porn. So the only people that like that don't really have issues with it are people who either like are married and they're like,
Have
oh, I don't
shit
want to do
going
it,
on.
right? Or they're super religious, or like people that have like a reason to not do it, where they're like, oh, this is like morally bad or something. Because if not, there's almost no reason not to just jerk off all the time.
Yeah, just totally hedonistic.
Yeah,
like,
there's absolutely no reason. And so like I just feel like people are becoming unhinged with like, oh, I can just fucking do anything. Like there's no
well, there's like
gates.
there's no like religious shame or even cultural
Right.
shame with
Right.
like doing shit now. Like
which I get
some
why we
shame,
got
a
rid
little
of it.
shame is good.
Yeah, and it's
I
like
think.
it might be the case that having a totally free society only works when you have some sort of religious framework for people's morality to be based off of, where like yeah, you can do whatever you want, but we both have a jumping off point for like what we think is wrong and right and stuff. Where once you lose that, it's like I don't think lying's bad. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't argue to me why lying is bad if I don't agree with your like moral framing of it. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
no concrete, there's no like discrete moral
Well,
argument.
things are like bad for like society. Like it's bad for like the communication and like.
But you could just say, I don't think that's bad. Like, there's nothing that's stopping me from just being like, yeah, I just don't think that's bad.
And then
you know
I'd
what
be
I
like, then I'd be like, do you really believe that? And you're like, no, I'm lying.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. But there's just no. People just do whatever they want. Like, there's just no like. And have you noticed like the maturity of people has gone down?
Yeah.
In
You
general,
see that? Yeah, totally.
like there's no like adults. Like you watch old stuff that was for adults back in the day, like movies and stuff, and they're like, they assume you know a lot more than like now. Where like everything now is like. You have to lay the track out in front of people or they're just not going to know what's going on. You can't imply anything. If there's any message, it has to be explicitly stated in the fucking movie or we don't get it. Like fucking, what was the one that came out on Netflix about the apocalypse? Don't Look Up.
That was the dumbest fucking movie. of all
Whack.
And it
time.
was the most on the nose metaphor I've ever fucking like. You should watch a movie
Well,
and at the end be
just,
like,
they just like shoehorn like they're like, let's put every celebrity we can find in here,
yes,
and then let's make it like the most fucking bullshit. Like it was
Boring.
like #1 on Netflix.
Mhm,
And
for a while.
I watched it. I'm like, my family was watching. I walked downstairs when I was home one time, and like my mom and dad and my sister were watching it. So it just tells you that it's like that's what they were trying to do. They're trying
Yes.
to make something that like
Universally
your parents just organically they're like, oh, fucking Leo DiCaprio or whatever.
Yes,
Like
100%. No, definitely. And like, yeah, there's no like there should be after a movie's over there should be debate about what it's about, which I don't like. If a movie ends and everybody agrees like, oh, it was about this, it was probably not a great movie because it means they spoon fed you the fucking meaning. It wasn't like it's which at that point it's propaganda. If you know the end goal before you've made the movie, it's propaganda. Like movie or like it's supposed to be like this creative process of you like uncovering this thing, you know, where like over time you start kind of like revealing the total project, and then at the end you're like, oh, this is kind of about this. Like you kind of put the meaning after.
yeah,
you've
there's
made
like
the story.
subtext and
Right,
everything.
you're putting the cart before the horse, where it's like you do that. The meaning thing comes after you want to tell the story,
and
you're
it's like good shit's like usually open ended enough where it's like for like centuries people can be like analyzing Of Mice and Men or something or
Yeah.
like classic
Uh-huh.
shit is like it's open like Great Gatsby is like it's open interpretation or something
Right.
like
or like you watch like The Godfather, and it's like after that's over, it's like, what was that about? If you asked anybody what The Godfather was, like what the meaning of it was, you get a different answer from like
yeah,
everybody.
what did people that used to go see like Scorsese movies and stuff like what would they think after that?
Right,
Like
and
when
like
it ends, are they just like, huh, like
neat. No, it's fun.
What do they?
I mean, I'm sure like that.
And when there was no YouTube people talking, like you can
Right.
go like watch like I like to go watch that one guy do like the explained after
yes,
the fact.
little
Like,
video essay thing.
yeah, people just probably saw shit. And were like, that was weird, and like left. Like,
or they were like, oh, I think it's about this, or like I think it like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like that, my dad would do stuff like that. Where like as a kid, I was like, you're overanalyzing it, Dad. It's just a movie. But then I get older and I'm like, oh yeah, this was like a metaphor or whatever.
yeah,
But I just think like if you have your point already mapped out, like this is a movie about oppression or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
that's propaganda. You're trying. There's a message you're trying to convey. You want the audience to come to a conclusion. Where a good movie, like you watch Clockwork Orange, everybody's got a different like thing of what that's about, or what that is. That a cautionary tale about like power, or is it about like how free a society could be? You know what I mean? Like you can have any
it's about produce.
right, but like we all watch Don't Look Up. We all have the exact same interpretation of what the fuck that was about, and that's because it's propaganda.
It's propaganda.
Propaganda
Because
crap.
yeah, everything is propaganda now. That's the default mode for
I don't know.
movies.
If, I don't know if propaganda, but definitely just like appeal to the most people, which usually means just dumb it down.
Well, and I don't even mean propaganda in the sense of like
Like their agenda, you know.
yes,
Like it's not like
just you have a point, like a message that you are
I don't
trying
think a
to
point makes it propaganda
laser into
either,
their brain.
You know, like
But
good
there's a
stories
difference
they
between
have,
having
like
making a point and then making a movie that explores something. Where it's like I want to make a movie that kind of explores like Moonlight was like I want to
Yeah.
explore black masculinity and
Uh-huh.
like black homosexuality and stuff.
yeah.
But there wasn't like a point at the end. It wasn't like, oh, I should be thinking this about this. It's more just like this is an idea that we want to explore with this movie,
Mm.
and then at the end it's like, okay, what did you like realize from that exploration? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not
like
like,
Parasite or something.
yes,
Like
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
there isn't really a point.
Which to that it was kind of an obvious class warfare thing where it
Yeah.
was like,
But that was kind of the structure of the movie,
Mhm.
right? It
Yes.
wasn't really like the like
It wasn't
it
their
wasn't like a
driving
point at the because the end is
Right.
just kind of like like this is kind of fucked and like
but do you think there's a big disagreement about what that movie's about?
no, I don't know. I mean,
I think there's just like multiple takes you
yeah.
can have.
Like what's the take besides the class thing?
I mean, it was definitely just a thing about class, but it's more like the point. Like at the end of the movie, it's like this rich family wasn't really. Well, actually, no. I guess the dad dies, right? It doesn't.
I don't remember the end of the movie actually.
the guy in the cave comes or the fucking basement comes out and stabs
He
someone.
stabs
The dad
I
or
do remember that.
or the son.
the rich family though. Right?
Yeah,
Does
he
like,
kills
kill
someone that's
someone in,
rich.
Like,
I
the
think
rich
he
family.
kills the kid.
I thought he killed the kid,
Yeah.
and then he might have killed two, and then I don't know.
I don't know what the point would be of that, but it just seemed like yeah, shit's fucked up on multiple levels. Was my fucking the way I saw
Yeah, I
it.
guess no, that's true. Like even if you thought it was a class thing, it's like you don't really know what the conclusion is. Like should I be like because it's like they weren't the good guys either.
No,
it wasn't like the
no,
people that
they
were
were
poor.
they were bad. Like,
Right.
The main family like fucked up all that. But
Right.
You could say like the rich people before were also kind of fucked up. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
that's true. So it
there
was
was already
unclear.
shit going on
Mhm.
in their
you-
basement.
You
like,
knew it was about class stuff, but it wasn't clear what conclusion you should come to.
which is
with
like
that.
which is
Right.
why it's a good movie.
Yes,
Which is
I
why
would
it was
agree,
like
yeah,
people
100%.
loved it was because it was like oh shit, I have like things I can think about after I see this.
Right.
Versus you go see freaking the Marvels,
Yeah.
and it's apparently there's nothing.
Boo.
I just watched a whole thing about the marvelization of cinema and just how like movies now are like just self-referential for the sake of it and like self-aware where it's like everything is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Where everybody's
No,
like
everything is like Velma.
Dude, I've
like,
watched
Did you
Deadpool.
watch Velma? at all?
yes, no,
That was
exactly. No,
crap.
yeah.
It's like it's not even like there's not even jokes. It's
No.
like and anyway, I'd put a joke here if I had time.
Yeah, it's like-
and
it's
it's
like
like
because we
what?
don't have a
Like,
joke-
Why don't you write a fucking joke?
Yeah.
Like why
Because
don't
they
you-
don't have jokes, they can just the joke is that we're self-aware that we don't have a joke. It's like that
Yeah.
doesn't make you funny.
No.
That means you're lazy. Yeah. Like it makes sense with Deadpool because that's his whole thing is like
Yeah,
knows
he's
he's in a
kind of
comic book.
he's been that
Yeah,
like
that's his
meta
bit.
person. Like
it's always been his bit. But
But
like yeah.
we don't need 7,000 fucking Deadpools.
Yeah, I don't think about Scooby Doo. And I'm
No.
like, oh, they're really good at meta commentary. That's
Yeah.
like why I watch Scooby Doo.
why don't we pick the weakest character from the franchise?
Yeah. The most disliked, or at least the least liked. If not the most disliked, she's definitely the bottom of everyone's favorite list.
I might
Yeah.
like Velma more than
Fred?
Daphne. Oh
Fucking what?
That's
yeah. As
that's-
far as from Scooby Doo, what the fuck did Daphne ever do?
Not much.
No,
She
Nothing.
looked great.
She did nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was just kind of like the girl from the second Indiana Jones movie, where she was
Mhm.
just kind of like.
Are you talking
"That's
about? Are you talking
icky."
about from the cartoon? Or are you talking about from the real live act? What,
cartoon?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
I just
see
think
what
she's
you
that
mean.
kind of character where it
Yeah,
was like,
it's
Mhm.
dusty in here.
getting muddy.
Yeah.
Oh, spiders on
Oh,
me.
it's cold.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
She's that character.
Okay, I see.
Which that's why people don't like that second one as much.
Well, like, did you see all the interviews like the cast of the Marvels did?
No.
Like, they were just like shitting on Just like they were
Movie?
just in like a hateful way, I guess. They were just like shitting on dudes. Like this, we should have 7 of these movies. There should be your own. Like,
Wait, are these like actors in the
no,
movie?
it's like the people that were like all those broads that were.
Oh, and they're making
casted.
fun of Marvel?
Well, no, there's like shitting on
They're
like,
doing like the press, like
yeah,
circuit,
like the
and
release,
saying,
and they're like, there should be more of these movies.
more all female
Yeah.
Marvel.
Oh,
movies.
Exactly.
that kind of shit.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't fucking shout at us.
No, and it's
You
like
know?
No, they have a good point because like statistically,
Yeah.
all female comic book movies have been the highest selling like comic books. Like all female comic books really had like a history of being like.
really.
No, totally.
Oh,
not.
I was going to say like that's crazy to me. I'm like, no way. Yeah,
Absolutely
that
not.
shit.
Yeah. Like what?
I'm so done with that fucking nonsense,
You were like,
dude.
really?
Oh no, I was really like, this is
Oh,
big news
fuck.
to me. I did not, because you know comic books. I'm like, maybe this is like,
No,
I don't
yeah.
know. That's funny. Dude.
I think that whole there's that quote like Scorsese talking about like a few years ago. He was like, I think from the whatever article you were kind of saying, where he said like Marvelization, whatever.
Mhm.
He's like, more movies aren't real cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the time, people were like, "What the fuck? Like, fuck you, you geezer! Like,
Yeah.
shut up!" Like,
yeah.
because we were all riding high off like
Yeah.
Infinity War and like Endgame
Yeah,
and like
this
the
rules.
culmination
Yeah.
of like a really like pretty solid run.
Mhm.
Of,
If they
like-
stopped after the last Infinity War, great franchise.
yeah,
that,
after
that was such a good end cap. It's like great, done.
ta-
Next
like
thing.
rest it for like
Yeah.
5 to whatever years,
Take a
10
break.
years, yeah,
Yeah.
not 10 years, well, yeah, whatever 5 or something, I don't know.
But yeah.
But it's like now you really see like, oh, this is like factory farming. This
yes.
is like
yes, it
the
is factory
equivalent-
farming.
It's the equivalent of like having just like chickens cooped up in their own shit that you're like feeding everyone. It's like,
Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, well, it tastes good.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, but like, this is fucked.
Like, shouldn't we, like,
this isn't what this was.
let a
like,
chicken like run free and like figure out its life and
yeah.
like,
And like
or
maybe
have like someone who really cares about chickens
Right.
like raise it.
well, yeah, you might
and,
not
like-
get the plumpest, biggest chicken, but it's like it's a unique chicken that's not just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to
It'll
have-
have healthy eggs.
right. You don't need the juiciest,
There's
reddest
other stuff
apple all the
coming,
time. Yeah,
you
it's,
won't get fucking cancer from it. In 10
right.
years.
yeah, yeah. And they were saying that like there's no like it almost feels like work now trying to keep up with all the Marvel shit.
Oh, like the shows. and
Yeah, like
stuff.
Marco loves all that shit, and I like asked him the other day. I was like,
Is he still into it?
yes, and I was like, dude, do you ever
How?
feel like
That
does it ever
makes-
feel like a job to you, like
that
having to
feels
keep up with this?
just-
And his girlfriend was like, yes, it does.
Yeah.
He goes, no, it does. He goes, but I love it. He's like, I'm never gonna stop.
It's just weird to still love it. Like I feel like
He's-
it's like
He just loves Marvel anyway, and he's just.
I
into
mean
the-
I'm there. Like
he
I
just
love all that
loves the
shit.
interconnected, like, oh, like if you saw this movie, then in this movie you get that reference, or you
Mhm.
know, like it.
But like when you know they're doing that and it's like the things I have to watch are bad, I'm like, you're putting these in here. It's like little Easter eggs for like sheep. Like it's like the most like fucking sheep brain shit to be like, oh, I like that sword. I saw
I
that sword.
remember that.
That was from
That's so
fucking issue
true.
62 of Fantastic Four. It's like, dude, are you fucking like a moron? Like
yeah, 100%.
you're watching an hour and 40 minutes of garbage to have like one dude be like, that's the egg of Sauron or
yeah,
something.
to do the
like,
fucking Pogger's face and go, oh, dude, they did it. They did the fucking.
and they're
thing."
not even doing like comic book shit anymore.
It's
Now they're just like, they recreated that meme. They recreated that Spider-Man meme.
Yes,
They
that's
recreated.
they bring up that too.
They
about,
did.
Like,
They did sad Michael Jordan crying meme. Like,
yeah, it's like references because like there
it's
used
the
to be,
dumbest fucking shit.
or like they did the fuck in the new Spider-Man. They've got.
They do the Spider-Man
Yeah, they
They
pointing.
do the
Pointing.
pointing thing, and then in the newest one, with the real people,
With Garfield and them?
yes,
Mhm.
with Green Lantern, Willem Dafoe. He
Green
does
Goblin.
he does the meme where he's like, I'm something of a scientist myself, like
Oh,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's just for people in the audience to go, they did
Totally.
it. Like that sucks. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's what I started feeling like with the Stan Lee thing. Like where he was in everything, and then you're like, oh look at Stan Lee. It's like that was an
I
Easter
like
egg.
that more though because
But it was
that
an Easter egg
like,
twice, and then at the third time, it's like everybody knows now. It used to be a thing where it's like if you're into comic books, you know that Stan Lee, and it's kind of a fun little nod to the
Uh-huh.
people who read the comic books. But now after like 3 or 4 times, it's like your mom knows, like, oh look at Stan Lee, and it's like it's not like
Yeah.
a nod
Shut up,
anymore. It's-
Mom. Fuck.
And that's what they were saying was like, oh, like references used to be like an homage, or it was like you would do like it was supposed to be it was supposed to be like an honor of something that inspired you.
and for like true like enthusiasts and stuff, or it was like yeah, you're saying like inspiring the director was inspired by something. He's like, I'm putting it in here
right.
because I'm like a real true film buff. Like
yeah. Like
the-
the example they used was a movie that just came out. It was like a Coen Brothers one or something, but they do this one transition from Lawrence of Arabia where this guy blows a match out and it like cuts on that, And they do that in that, and the other one, and it's because the director said like in interviews that like that movie was like a huge influence on him for like why he made this and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just like
a bunch of people like have copied like Hitchcock shots
yes,
and transitions.
yeah,
and,
which
like,
is that's an homage.
that's
It's not
different.
like the example they used that was bad was in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. There's a scene where at the end where the fucking owl. Have you seen that?
No.
So one of the people's a druid and they can turn into an owl bear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene at the end where he grabs like the villain kind of lost or whatever, and it's like kind of over. And the owl bear guy comes over and like just starts like smashing him into the ground and like hitting him back and
It's
forth
like a
and
Hulk
stuff.
thing.
And they
or-
literally do the Hulk thing and they
Yeah.
throw it and they do the whole like him looking at the camera and the silence thing, like verbatim. It's the Hulk thing,
It's like we have a Hulk or we
Right,
have
and
a
then it's
owl
like-
druid or something.
right? But it's like, why was that a reference? You know what I mean? Like you ask them, it's like, why did you put that reference in? They go, I don't know. Like it was like there is no reason. It was just so you'd be like, oh, that's the thing. Like there's no like, oh, that movie kind of inspired us. It's like no, you're just doing
It's
some
especially
weird-
weird when it's like, yeah, there's no tie, because it would be better if they were just like, oh no, we just were like copying that. Like,
Yes.
we weren't like doing it for a reason. We're just like, we want to have this guy smash him. It's like
yes.
that'd be funny if he smashed him like the Hulk
Like
did
it
in that
was
one
an
movie.
accident.
Yeah, just be like having a big character just like whip a dude around like a rag doll
that's a
isn't
funny
like
bit.
yeah, it's not. They don't like own that idea, I
Right.
guess, but
But it was like
in
a-
that style and stuff.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah,
It was, and I think it's a Disney movie too.
yeah.
So it's very much.
It gets
a
weird
fucking-
now with like everything being owned, where it's like
Yeah,
everything
true.
starts to feel like weird like that, like where it's just you're purely shouting out your other properties.
Like Star Wars. It's impossible for them to make a new IP that doesn't have any part of it is like, oh, I remember that. There's maybe and what was it? What's the new one?
Andor,
Andor.
that was good. That
That's
was like
the
the best of like, and that wasn't. But to be real, that was good. But like, it wasn't like
Amazing.
it wasn't yeah, it wasn't like
It was good because everything else.
it was
Star Wars
good
was shit.
comparatively.
Yes,
But it's a lot of like
the bar's so low now.
cutting back and like the exact same shot flipped. Like it's not it's
Really?
yeah, like a lot of like the conversations will just be like in that volume or whatever they you know like
Oh
there's these-
yeah.
just like there's no like yeah, I don't know, lazy is what it felt like
Mhm.
really like there's no like tracking shots in any of that shit. It's all stuff that's like have a dude's like if you watch it and you
I
think
never
of it
thought
from
about
that
that.
angle, I'm constantly like I'm watching it like oh they just have a dude standing there. And so they can do as many takes as they want. They can do anything with like the shit in the background.
right.
There's no like filmmaking of like tracking shots or like writing the script like an Edgar Wright movie, you know, where it's
Mhm.
like you have to have everything so planned out because it's like your transitions
Because
are
physically
like
happening.
this person walks in front of your camera and then you do like a mask thing. And,
Yes.
like, you're doing like with sound and stuff.
Mhm.
It's like transitions. Like there's none of that, dude, in any of the Star Wars shit. Like so whenever anyone's like, dude, it's so fucking good, I'm like comparatively
Yeah,
to
the
other
bar is so low
other
now.
ass Star Wars stuff, like
It sucks. It sucks.
Like,
I
what are you
fucking love
talking
Star
about?
Wars, and it has such potential, and they just fuck. Like, imagine having a universe at your hands where you can literally do whatever the fuck you want, and then being like relegated to 4 stories that happened like already. Like,
that's like what Marvel did. It's like they have like thousands of stories they could do, like famous things, and they pick like the 5 most popular ones and do them badly. Like
right?
there's so much source material.
Yeah.
like,
The one thing though with that sucks is like they can't ever create anything truly new. Like there's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff to draw from. There's almost infinite stuff to draw from. But I feel like it's hard for them to just make a new superhero and be like, this is like,
you don't have to make a new superhero though. It's just like put them in like a situation, right? Like it's
Right.
like do some shit that's like true to a character. 'Cause that's the thing is like the characters are like developed, right?
Mhm.
Like essentially like you could have them just react to shit now. Like you don't really have to like you don't have to like invent the wheel. It's like make Iron Man like traditional Iron Man, like what he does and like
Mhm.
shit.
And stop doing the origin stories. Every time they do a reboot, we gotta watch Spider-Man get bit by a fucking spider every single time.
Yeah.
We know how it happened. We know. Everyone at this point, we all know.
Even in that new Spider-Verse movie, there's a little bit of origin stuff. And
Mhm.
I guess it's like Spider-Gwen. That's a really good movie. Have you seen the new Spider-Verse? The Into the Spider-Verse or whatever?
Yes, the newest one.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Across the Spider-Verse
Mhm.
maybe.
Mhm.
I liked that a lot. I watched that the other night.
I
again,
love
and,
that
like,
movie. Those movies are
Really
amazing.
good.
Are amazing. Yeah, they're so good.
And maybe that's the thing is maybe animation is gonna be like the way to do films like filmmaking,
Mhm.
shit, like movies and everything. Just 'cause it's like you don't have to pay like Robert Downey Jr. $80 million to like make an
Mhm.
appearance. Like it's all
You pay 20 guys like $20 just to
you
fucking
pay
be,
20 dudes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like we're gonna pay these 20 animators $20.
yeah, to just like
to
do,
draw
yeah.
all this stuff,
to ruin their lives.
skip their Christmas.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna see your
Literally.
family for the next 4.5 years. But it'll be good because we'll be #1 on the charts for a week and a half
Yeah,
until another movie comes
It'll
out.
matter. Trust us. You'll make us a bunch of money. Yeah, dude.
Then we'll lay y'all off before the next movie.
Dude, that's that big. I watched this documentary about how these visual effects studios fucking go out of business all the time.
Yeah.
The one that did Life of Pi, they got an Oscar. They're bankrupt now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
'cause-
got to be like some of like the highest turnover.
No, totally. No, 100%. And part of it is like they make a point in the documentary that like those studios are being run by artists, not by business people, and
Mhm.
so they don't know how to manage money or like.
There's
any
probably
of
a
that
lot of
shit.
like kind of private contractors as far as like artists too, where it's like, I'm a digital, I'm like, or like you or someone. You know,
Yeah,
it's like you have
or
like your own
freelance.
portfolio, and it's like, oh, I'll come in and work on a movie, but then it's like they're not like die hard to that production company is how I imagine it. Like,
Yes,
maybe
yeah.
some people are, but like I feel like a lot of people they like get hired out to work on a movie.
I think that's mostly how it works now because it's just too.
Which is kind of a bad strat because then it's like you don't have
security.
a for the movies also for the people that make the movies too. It's like you kind of want like a solid in-house like
Well, I'm sure you build sort of like a Rolodex of people that are like, this guy can do this guy
Contractors.
can do this. Yeah, we got a guy who can do like good special effects or like makeup or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
eventually, which is kind of how they made the first special effects studio. What's it fucking Industrial Light and Magic was like the first. Nobody had like a visual effects studio until Star Wars because that was the first. Well, yeah, I mean there was departments, but there wasn't like a company where like Industrial Light and Magic is its own company. Like they
Mhm.
do their own thing, and they like companies will hire them to do their effects. But like before that, it was like 2001. They would do all the models and shit in house or whatever. Like it wasn't some company. It was like they would just like you're saying hire some people.
yeah.
And then George Lucas was like, the stuff I want to do in this movie, there's nobody that can do it yet. Like there's nobody. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, he had to like make the technology and stuff.
Yeah, he hired this dude John Dykstra who fucking invented this thing called the something Flex. I don't remember. It's this camera that lets you do tracking shots that let you do moving masks. Where it used to be if you wanted to do masking, where you would put you do a matte painting or whatever, and you
Yeah.
cut out a fucking literal hole in it, and then that would be the video part. But you couldn't move the camera.
Yeah, it had to be like on a tripod.
Yeah, and so they built this crazy fucking gyroscope system that, like, from scratch, like, it built an entire camera with, like, just screwing stuff together and stuff, like, from just parts. And then he knew a bunch of guys, just random dudes who, like, all had different skills, where he's like, oh, I know this guy who, like, he knows all this software stuff, or I guess it wasn't really computers at that time, but he's like, he can do really good models, and this guy does stop motion, and this guy
Yeah.
does. And then they just build this company of, like,
Well, it's like Pixar. Like Pixar is like Steve Jobs and
Yeah.
like Lucasfilm and shit, and like all those dudes were like they were like Toy Story was like the first fully computer generated like
I think one of the guys from I could be wrong, but I think one of the guys from ILM sold Pixar that software or something. It was something
Probably,
he
yeah.
made in his like free time, and then he was like, "Yeah, I ended up like selling it to Pixar, and that's what they use for their animations now." Or something.
yeah.
like
I
that.
read like a book by I can't remember the dude's name, but like the CEO for however many years. Whatever the fuck that guy's name is, but it was about all that stuff. And
Mhm.
it's like that's truly like where you get the best is like innovators of like or like Sam Raimi. Like they had to make a camera system like on a crane to do like the web swinging in Spider-Man.
really
1.
like that. They'd never done that before.
Yeah, like it was like they put it on like wires like they do for like an NFL game.
Oh yeah.
And they like would like it was like whipping, and like
That's
there
crazy.
wasn't like
A way to do that.
it's like proprietary made for that like use case,
That's so sick.
and that's why it's sick as fuck still. Like that's
Yeah,
why it's
true.
like you watch that and you're like, this still feels better than like any of the shit Marvel's doing today,
Mhm.
where it's like. There's like legit physics involved because it's like a real camera swinging through a thing. Like,
Do you guys have Disney Plus?
yeah,
You should. This the thing I'm talking about. There's a documentary on there about ILM that is you would fuck with it. It's
Yeah.
really really good, and they go into like Indiana Jones because eventually after Star Wars is over, he's like, well, what do we do with we have all this shit? And he's like, I guess we'll just like contract you guys out to my friends like Steven
Mhm.
Spielberg and stuff, and you just do their effects.
yeah.
And yeah, they started fucking doing their shit. But wait, you just said something about. Oh,
Spider-Man.
there's a point. One of the episodes is about the point when they switched to CG and like how divisive that was within the company, and how like there was like two groups at one point where like they called it going to the dark side, was going to the CG side,
Wow,
and
yeah.
slowly the people from the model shop started like going over to the software side. And the dude Phil Tippett, who is like he's a legendary stop motion guy. Like any old movie that has like really good stop motion in it was fucking Phil Tippett. Like the old No, that might not have been him. But like, you know, in
Any of the Tim Burton stuff, like Night Before
I don't-
Christmases or anything, or like are you saying like old, like that, like Rudolph? Old,
yes,
like,
like
yeah.
Rankin Bass stuff. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
that was him specifically, but like the Tauntauns in episode 5.
Yeah.
He did those guys and
Okay.
stuff. And the way he fucking did that, the snow field or whatever, that big field that with the dunes of snow or whatever, they built like a mini, like, you know, a miniature of
Yeah,
that,
like a
basically.
terrain. Yeah.
Right. And the way he would have to do this was he would crawl underneath this whole thing. There was a trap door where he would pop out and he would move it and then he would close it and he would crawl back out and he'd get on the camera. He's like, I did this 2,000 times or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you couldn't have one guy underneath moving it and then someone on the camera?
Yeah. Have like
you're
a
that short?
trigger guy.
Yeah.
Have a long remote.
Why are you doing all of this? But originally, he was supposed to do the stop motion for Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And there's this video you can see of like one of the test demos he does of the raptors, and it looks really, really cool. But then it was like at this time that they were just getting the CG working, and somebody brings in this demo of a T-Rex walking, and he was like, there were people in the audience like screaming, not like out of terror, but just like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy! Like, what the shit?
Yeah.
Like one of the ladies was like, she's like, I like got chills. Like I'd never seen anything like that. Like you watching the dinosaur walk out, and it's got a shadow, and it's like
It looks relatively real.
Yeah, and it's
the
got
real
weight.
shit you've seen. Like yeah.
And like some of those dudes, two of the guys were talking, like they were interviewing them, and they were like, yeah, we started making this imaging software that would let you edit images, and we just kept adding these features and like kept adding stuff, and like eventually we were like, let's sell this, and we called it Photoshop. You're like, what? Like what? You guys made fucking Photoshop?
It would be pretty sweet to be like, oh, we fucked around and made Photoshop.
Yeah, the thing's synonymous with editing photos. Like
Yeah.
it's like Kleenex. Like,
yeah, people that don't edit photos are like, just throw it in Photoshop or
yeah,
whatever. It's
Photoshop it. Like yeah, even if you're not using Photoshop,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, was that Photoshop?
I just use the editing on my iPhone.
Yeah. Oh, you Photoshop.
I just pressed edit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, crazy. There's just not people like that.
Do you
anymore.
think that like, because I don't know, it feels like that's more real cinema. Like that's more like real movies is like a prop house, and like it's kind of cool because like after the fact, you know, that's like props circulate. Like it's
Mhm.
like it kind of keeps a movie. It's like there's no like you can't even there's no Iron Man suit in a storage locker
Surely they have like a full.
for like the original one, like where they actually made it. But like after like I think the second
They
movie,
stopped doing
they'd
the suit.
I think the first one they had built like a real
Right, that's what I thought.
thing. You know,
Mhm.
that's like they made it out of like whatever it's called, fucking
The rubber?
plaster or something.
Rubbers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever, some kind of material.
Mhm.
But then like after that, they started making just the top, and then they were like just give him like a little light or give him like a little gauntlet or something.
Or just the helmet part, like just the outline of his face.
Probably, yeah. So it's like you don't even have props, like, but there's like props from like old like Star Wars and
Mhm.
everything, and like
And it's crazy to hear how they make them. Like the opening scene of the first Star Wars where it's the ship,
Yeah.
going under the camera, and it's just
Uh-huh.
that long shot of it,
it's just like a sweet miniature that they built.
yeah, and you see
like,
all those little. It's got all these ornaments and knots and shit on it, and all of that stuff, all those little fucking
some
gizmos and
dude
stuff.
had to like make it.
No, they bought these old model kits for like cars and stuff, and they would pop out the little gizmos and shit, and they just glue those. They would cut them up and glue them to the ships, and
yeah.
like just random pipes and stuff to nowhere. All of those are from old car models or
That's
like plane
sweet, though.
models, and yeah, they just turned them into. They invented the term kit bashing, which is something people use now. It's like combining a bunch of different stuff together is like a kit bash.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a sick name. But yeah, he's like, I remember like we got the space. The guy who started ILM, he's like, I just sat on the floor and I got a phone and I just like started calling people. Like we had no desks yet. I was just like on the carpet, like calling my homies. Like, hey, do you want to come work on a movie? Like, we need somebody who can like do models. And it's like crazy, dude. And it was also because it was like they were passion projects back then. It wasn't a product. It was like I give a fuck about this.
Yeah, it was some dude that really liked to like do models and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
it wasn't like overly optimized to be like for this many demographics, and it has to appeal to this many groups, and it has to be like, oh, we can't have this line in it because that's gonna make this people not like. You can't. It used to just be like you like it or you don't. It was like this is the thing we made. We're not gonna focus group this thing into the ground where it's like it's not even the thing anymore because we want it to appeal to everybody. Also, stuff used to just be for certain people. It used to be that like a movie would come out, and
and
you're like,
sometimes stuff just wouldn't hit. Like sometimes it's
Yeah.
just like stuff would be bad.
You
Like,
take
there's
a
a lot of
chance.
just bad shit. Like
but now we have bad shit that they think is gonna be good, and
Yeah.
it had never even had a chance to be good, or stuff that's considered bad that people did like at the time, like old stuff. You know what I mean? Where the stuff that was like, it was considered bad in critical terms, but there's a huge cult following for it.
like
Where
stuff that,
now we
like,
have shit that's just bad. It's not
Yeah.
even like there's not even like a redeemable. Like,
it won't make a comeback in like 10 years. It's
Yeah.
just like people are just gonna be like, no, this has been bad from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it just doesn't have that like
heart.
texture. Yeah,
There's
it
no
doesn't
heart. And
feel
like,
like anything. It's like smooth. It's the
It is
difference
smooth.
between old Star Wars and new Star Wars, where all the ships look like race cars. Where before they were these junker, like the Rebel ships looked like they'd like put them together with spare
Yeah.
parts and like they punch the back of it to get it to start and shit like that. And like the new ones are like these sleek, like space, like they look like fucking race cars, and it's stupid.
yeah, it's all like a little bit like when you have like you're shooting like raw video and it's like log whatever
Mhm,
format. It's like
mhm.
a little gray.
That analog
It's like
kind of
nothing really has like a true dark. Like the black setting is like nothing is like true shadow. I don't know what you call it, but it's like
desaturated almost.
yeah, it looks like like super desaturated.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like that VHS filtery, like.
It's like
sort
because like Captain America: Civil War was like there's a bunch of film essays on that where like that was like one of the first ones where it's like what the fuck what have they done to
of,
this
Mhm.
compared to like the first Thor or
Mhm.
something or like any of the first gen Marvel movies like first Avengers.
Mhm.
It's like things like shine and have color and like
Mhm. There's one guy I watched was like doing. He was talking about movie scores now and how like if I asked you to hum the Captain America theme, like can you do that?
no.
No. You can do the Avengers one maybe. The dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
You know, whenever they all assemble, like dun 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 dun.
The Spider-Man theme song,
dun.
the original Sam Raimi. It's like
I don't know if I recognize that. Maybe if you played it, I would.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
But like, there's just a lot of like, if I tell you to hum the theme song from Jaws or Star Wars or Indiana Jones or Harry Potter or like, you can do it immediately, and it.
We just
adds-
need more. We just need more John Williams. Or
It really
whatever.
is just
It's
John
just
Williams.
that
It's
dude.
really just John Williams
He
or
made
Hans Zimmer.
Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer has some bang. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hans Zimmer did
Dun,
that
dun,
one,
dun.
or
Yeah, dude, fucking sick. That's the best. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Hans Zimmer's done like he did he did like a bunch of Nolan movies. He's on like the Batman theme,
Mhm. Yes.
the Dark Knight theme.
Mhm. And Howard Shore, the Lord of the Rings one, is also fucking
Yeah.
iconic. That one is mega. The da-da-da, 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 dun, dun, dun. Heat. Like yeah, just I wish
Heat.
I wish scores like I don't even know what it is about those. Like, cause you watch, there's a like the example he uses. He shows a scene from Captain America, and he shows it once with the score, and then he shows it once without it, and there's like no noticeable difference. Like, it doesn't even add anything really.
It should be like in Power. It should be like
Yeah, and they kind of do that where it swells, like right whenever he sees this, like the
they just do like a volume. They're just fading up a volume.
Yeah.
There's no like. Yeah, there's no heart.
That's always cool too when you watch them film record the score and they've got the scene on a projector up on the screen and the people are like fucking playing the cellos and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, that stuff's dope. And I'm sure they still do that a little bit, but it's just they don't feel iconic. I don't know what that is. I don't know why some themes are just like you just remember them, but like they just don't have them.
Are movies as iconic now? I mean, there's.
Fuck no.
No, because they're all copies of copies of
Yeah.
copies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the ones that are iconic, like I'm thinking like a Parasite or something. Like that's
Mhm.
like does that have as much staying power as like a Jaws or something did?
I
Like
don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think we're gonna remember that in like 10 years because it doesn't really have any cultural impact. There's not people still referencing. Jaws was in The Simpsons, is in Family Guy, it's in, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
think about like what people reference a lot. Like that, I think those are the things that stay around because those are like memes. Before memes, it was like references
Mhm.
were memes. Where it
Movies
was like
and
this
stuff,
thing that
yeah.
would perpetuate itself just from people talking about it all the time.
yeah.
But like I don't hear a lot of people making references to like. I mean, there's
I
a
think
lot
like
of
a handful of movies. I think like there's a handful that will be like considered our classics, but like
what do you think?
I mean I think like Parasite and like I think like Everything Everywhere at Once. I think that'll be like one that everyone's like, oh, that was like
Yeah,
a
that's what I was just
standout
thinking
of,
too.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of like I think like Get Out or something like some of the Jordan Peele movies like those will be like classics of our.
Jordan
this
Peele is
20-year,
definitely one of
like-
those that is like. He's the only one I can really think
He's
of.
making like legit stories and like it feels like it's like this is from the head of like a dude that's like got a plan.
Mm-hmm. And his are a good one about like
I haven't seen the
on the
most recent,
surface
to be
it
fair,
seems like
either.
you know what it's about. Like
Uh-huh.
it seems like it would be one of those that's very obvious about the lesson, but then it ends and you're like, I don't really know what the lesson was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the one with the clones.
Yeah, like some of it is like, yeah, you know it's about race somehow, but you don't really get what like, which is good. I'm saying that's
Yeah.
like, it's not just spoon fed to you. It is like, yeah, there was something racial going on there, but I don't know what.
It's his movies you see multiple times and you're like, oh shit, I'm catching like things.
Mhm.
It's like a movie you could watch like 2 or 3 times and like there's no difference from the first time you watch it. Is
Mm-hmm.
baby food.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
just straight baby food
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nonsense for you.
It is. It's just popcorn fodder. Like it's just shit to like turn. Like you just it's for your parents to like fucking veg out and
Yeah.
just watch some bullshit. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're ever gonna get back. I think we're gonna have a resurgence of all media. I think video games, I think movies, I think TV shows, because I think people that are our age are getting to the point now where they're starting to get into these industries and they're gonna start making things the way they remember them being good, instead of the way people think that they are now.
But do you think people are gonna be like, damn, dude, it's like it's Friday, you know, I gotta like finish this task before I can clock out. It's like, do I want to like write dialogue for this like video game I'm working on, or do I just want to have AI do it and I can leave at fucking 1 o'clock?
If
Like,
it was some, well, that's the thing is like if
you
it's
need
something
people
you
that really
care
give a shit about, like people
Right.
that really give a shit about their thing.
Right. And that's what I think is like it's going to be passion projects and stuff from these people who like are sick of these products that aren't movies, that are just like they're just a fucking it's a product. It's a thing. It's like a thing to make money. It's a thing to be sold.
Yeah, like there's like a Spielberg, like the new age Spielberg is like
Yes.
sitting somewhere like watching. He's just getting like
What the fuck is this shit?
pissed.
I'm hoping. I hope to
watching
God.
Marvel shit.
Yes, I hope there's somebody like that who's just seething about this bullshit. And
You
they're
need like angry nerds.
Mhm.
You need like an angry nerd to be like, I'm gonna turn this shit around.
And he's just shooting stupid videos in the backyard with his friends and like doing
Yeah.
crazy bullshit. Like, yeah, we need those people. That's another cool part of that ILM documentary is they show all those dudes as kids, like
Yeah.
doing all these like funny effects things, but the best they could as children. And some of them are like pretty
Better
good
than
for
like
a
shit you could
kid.
do now.
Yeah, one of them is like this kid is like in front of a fence, and this big hand comes down and like picks him up, and I think they literally had a guy close to the camera whose hand comes in and like goes in front of him, and it looks like he grabs him, and then they somehow make him get lifted. I don't remember how exactly they do it, but they just, as like 10-year-olds, they like figured out all these practical ways to like shoot
Practical
these shots.
effects are super cool when you watch like the behind the scenes
Yeah.
making of things.
Yeah, like I think one he put a paper plane on a string, and then he sent it down the string, and then while it was going, he shot it with a slingshot to like shoot it down and have a scene of a plane like getting
Wow.
shot down and shit. Like, yeah, just that kind of shit I love. It's like, yeah, it's there's got to be still people doing that. Maybe not. Maybe everyone's just on fucking TikTok. Maybe that's how people spend their free time. Because when there wasn't something to do, it was like you made stuff, because it was like I can't just turn my brain off,
Yeah, now it's like turn your brain off. There's so much shit to look at.
which is the true psyop. That is the true bioweapon that the fucking Chinese are using. It's not going to be a nuke. It's not going to be some virus. It's going to be getting a country's youth to waste all of their free time
To never
with
make
nothing.
anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then nobody knows how to do anything.
Yeah.
That's the true way to subvert a fucking country. It's the 1984 versus A Brave New World, where 1984 isn't going to happen. It's not going to be this authoritarian state where it's like you have to fall in line or you're gonna. It's going to be Brave New
Everyone's
World where you
eating
kill.
soma.
Yeah, you kill them with pleasure. It's
Yeah.
like you make it so nice that they don't want to revolt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just make it so like all of their base and
Dude, Uber Eats
necessities.
is sick, dude.
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah, people, the powers that be have a vested interest in like you being content. They don't want to do bad. Like people think like, oh, they're trying to do this to us. It's like they don't want to cause unrest. Their end goal is for there to be social cohesion. They don't want, you know what I mean? That's bad for business. That's bad for maintaining power. Is like people being angry and like disgruntled. Like you want people.
Well, I'm
to
pissed.
Yeah.
be
frankly.
pacified. I'm outraged. Let's start a riot.
I'm freaking pissed.
Yeah.
And I want to burn shit.
Let's do it. Let's get some
I just
Molotovs.
looked up